it was really bad how it looks. And he said, you can't train your eyeball to be stronger. It is what it is. There's protection here and here, but he obviously got no protection because the fingers were straight in. The fight should have been stopped. He couldn't see. It was a foul. He couldn't see. Then you can't fight. You know, if he'd have got knocked out with a head kick next, then it would have been worse. I don't know. And then he said, sometimes when your eyes here like that, it can become displaced and stay there. And they did a few tests on that, and they said it doesn't seem like that. And his vision on the eye that's the best eye.
Tom Aspinall and his entire team are reportedly furious with Dana White after what unfolded during the post-fight interview at UFC.
The way everybody feels. Great showing, shitty ending, you know? I think that after the Jones fight, a lot of people wrote Cyril gone off. He looked damn good tonight.
Yeah, what did you think about the fight on its way to the eye poke? What did you take from those 4 minutes?
Good. Looked like we were in for a few rounds and it was going to be a good fight.
It would seem obvious that a rematch is right on the cards. Would you like to just rebook these guys as soon as Tom is able to get back in there?
Yeah, total pain in the ass, but yes.
Tom didn't want to continue in the fight. I mean, could you imagine if you're Tom Aspinall listening to that? Could you imagine? I mean, we know that no one from the UFC was with him at the hospital. We saw that on his video blog. Could you imagine how this guy must be feeling on this Monday? Everyone calling him into question, his heart into question, because he got poked in the eye multiple times, one of them knuckle deep, and his promoter is saying Tom didn't want to continue. Not Tom was fouled with an illegal strike, multiple illegal strikes. Let me ask you a question. If that happened in some alternate universe to AJ, to Anthony Joshua, what do you think Eddie Hearn is saying? Eddie Hearn's probably still at the hospital with him. That's the difference. That's what I talk about. How do you think Tom feels on this Monday? Do you think he wanted it to end like that? Do you think that Tom was saying to himself, you know what? I got a bloody nose. The going got tough here. Peace out, guys. I'm out. Again, the fight wasn't as one-sided as people want you to believe. Yeah, I know it was weird that he was bloody. And yeah, I know it was weird that he was losing a round. We never see him lose rounds. We never see it go past the 2 minute and 2 second mark. That's his fight average going into this fight. But do you guys really think that he was looking for a way out?
What the is he doing? The left one was really deep. The left one was really deep.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry,
you got one twice.
Yeah,
twice before he got one for it.
Mike Bisping, he lost his eye. It's just a horrendous thing to think as a parent, really. And I know what it's like these days with people saying what they want, but if it's just your son and they could lose an eye and their health and they've got children to look after, you know, something needs doing about it. Yeah, it's horrendous for me to look.
After everything Tom Aspinall has done for the UFC, staying loyal, humble, and representing the organization as one of its most respectable heavyweights, Dana White's comments have left him and his family outraged. During the post-fight interview, instead of showing support for a fighter who had just endured one of the most brutal eye pokes in UFC history, Dana suggested that Aspinall chose not to continue. There was no mention of the fact that Cyril Gane had poked him twice, with the final one being a deep, accidental eye gouge that left the doctor no choice but to stop the fight. This wasn't a simple cut or swelling. Aspinall's vision was completely compromised. He couldn't see.
E aí, Porta?
I just walked out of watching this fight. I'm out here on campus. ESPN is right out my window if you find that interesting. All right. I share that with you because I'm mad. I'm mad. But I don't know who I'm mad at. Tom did not do anything wrong. Tom was poked in the eye. As a matter of fact, he was poked in both eyes. Now, I don't believe Cyril did that on purpose. So, I also can't, or am not mad at Cyril. But I am mad. I'm looking for somebody to blame. but I don't quite know who to blame. Now, before we get to that, okay, there was a pretty interesting fight going on. The story going into this fight is Tom has the power to just go knock him out. We're not saying Tom's a better kickboxer. We get that Surreal did that for many years of his life. We get that Surreal had over 30 professional kickboxing bouts. But Tom, a little younger, a little bigger, shown to have a little bit better power if you just want to look at results, and has the ability to knock him out. However, if Tom tests that and doesn't knock him out, he'll just take him down and beat him up.
Yeah, I don't really like the notion of that either. It didn't look like he won and then he's getting a title shot. I think people are a little bit sour about that. I just want to fight. I want to be as active as possible. I want to fight as much and as frequently as I possibly can. Yeah, I just want to get back to what I do and what.
But a lot of this could have been calmed down. A lot of this could have been quieted, could have been subdued if perhaps, I don't know, the face of the company would have gone to the press conference and said, look, that was a great fight. That was a great round. We're going to rebook it right away.
The referee had already warned Cyril Gane twice earlier in the fight for extending his fingers. Yet when Dana White addressed the incident afterward, he didn't mention Gane's name once. Instead, he went on to praise Gane's performance, talking about how sharp he looked, how he managed to cut Aspinall, and even suggesting the fight might have been able to continue. Meanwhile, Aspinall was being transported to the hospital, alone, with no UFC representatives by his side, only to learn that the man who was supposed to support him appeared to be criticizing him publicly on live television. According to sources close to Aspinall, he was furious upon hearing Dana's comments, feeling completely blindsided and disrespected.
Do you think that Tom was saying to himself, you know what? I got a bloody nose. The going got tough here. Peace out, guys. I'm out. Again, the fight wasn't as one-sided as people want you to believe. Yeah, I know it was weird that he was bloody. And yeah, I know it was weird that he was losing a round. We never see him lose rounds. We never see it go past the 2 minute and 2 second mark. That's his fight average going into this fight. But do you guys really think that he was looking for a way out? And again, I bring up the topic that I brought up last week, and I bring up the topic that I've been bringing up ever since I've been sitting in a chair like this, talking into a camera like that. This notion of intentional versus unintentional is the stupidest shit in sports. Period. You don't hear it anywhere else. Let me ask you guys a question. Yesterday, I'm watching the New York Knicks against the Miami Heat. Crucial juncture of the game. Knicks are down like 8 or so. They have the ball. Josh Hart gets called for an offensive foul. Illegal screen. Do the referees converge and say, like, did he mean to do that or did he not mean to do that? No, a foul is a foul. Ball goes the other way.
Because it went a few minutes. It doesn't mean in any way, shape or form here that Tom Aspinall was struggling. He fucking wasn't. Cyril Gane's a good technical fighter. He was making it more difficult to catch him. But it wasn't like he was dishing out loads of punishment just because Tom had a bloody nose from a punch. Fucking Floyd Mayweather had a black eye from fucking Deji. A little bit of damage when you're in there throwing big fucking fists at each other is going to happen sometimes. It does not reflect the way the fight is actually going. Little bit of blood. As long as you can breathe out that nose, you are fine. And it's this context that in the MMA and fight world, people just fucking ignore for some reason.
I saw Tom Aspinall on there land some nasty stuff too. I saw Tom Aspinall throw a high kick. I've never seen him throw a high kick. It is partly because he's never had to throw a high kick. There are layers to these guys' games that we have to find only when they're fighting someone that not only deserves to be in there with them, but can extend them to a point where they have to use all of their weapons.
I mean, look, DC knows MMA. I'm not going to say he's talking total shit there, but I think if Tom Aspinall is being experimental in there and showing us things that he's not showing us before, I don't think for 1 second it's because I'm going to struggle here. I need to throw a high kick. I've never done that before. I don't think that's in his mind at all. He's so comfortable in there. He is showing more of his skill set that he has said he's been working on in the last year.
Aspinall feels betrayed, humiliated, and stunned by how quickly Dana White seemed to turn on him after one unfortunate accident. According to reports from backstage, Tom expressed his frustration, saying something along the lines of, "I've given everything to this company, and this is what I get? I didn't quit, I literally couldn't see. But when I come back, no one will ever question me again. And honestly, it's hard to blame him. For more than a year, the UFC has kept his career in limbo, teasing a potential fight with John Jones, delaying matchups, and putting him in situations that didn't make much sense. Then, when he finally gets back into the octagon, one accidental eye poke ends it all. And somehow, he's the one being criticized. His father, Andy Aspinall, has also spoken out, expressing his disgust with how the UFC has treated his son. He reportedly said that once Tom's current contract is up, the plan is to walk away from MMA altogether and move into boxing, where he'll be respected and paid what he deserves. It's a heartbreaking situation. The UFC has seen top-level stars leave before over similar issues, names like Francis Ngannou, Nate Diaz, and Tito Ortiz, and now it looks like Tom Aspinall could be next. If that happens, it would be a massive blow to the heavyweight division. The MMA world is split. Analysts like Ariel Helwani and Michael Bisping have defended Aspinall, calling the eye poke unfortunate and criticizing Dana White's comments. Many fans have echoed that sentiment, labeling Dana as insensitive and unfair. Others, mainly supporters of Cyril Gane, argue that Aspinall could have continued. But the truth is simple. When a fighter takes a direct poke to the eye, there's no fighting through it. There's only damage control and recovery. Tom Aspinall isn't just angry, he's tired of being disrespected. And if he decides to walk away, it might finally show Dana White what happens when you push a true fighter too far.